morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing on this second day of September? It is chilly. It's 65 degrees, but it was in the 50s this morning. It feels like fall, y'all. Fall is here, but we always get what they call Indian summer, so we'll have some heat coming back. We will. But this is nice, crisp weather. It's cool, makes good for good sleeping, right? So this is writing part two. I hope that you did writing part one and watched the video and attempted the worksheet on your own. Um, Let me know how you did. Let me know how it was. We're getting to, or we are at the highest end of the skill sets. So they are more challenging. You may find them more challenging, very hard. So they are at the highest end of the skill set, and we are going to be starting over come week after next. We're going to be starting at the very beginning. And so these are the highest skills for high school. And as I said, you may find them quite challenging right now, but hang in there. We're going to keep working through it. And really, um, everything comes down to how to find the meaning in the words. And so that's what we're doing, and how to use the words appropriately. So that's what we keep on working on. So what I want to share with you now is not showing. What I want to share with you now is persuasive writing. This is a chart about persuasive writing, and this is what I want to talk about. How which words we would use in a persuasive writing, how we would frame a passage, um, or an essay. So it's either a paragraph or an essay, and we're advancing our argument, we're making it strong, or we're going to analyze one. You may be asked to do this on the test. How strong, how good was this author's argument, and what kind of words did he use or not use to make his argument? So first, let's look at some of the words that we would use when we are making a persuasive argument. So in our introduction, we're going to use words like I think. For this reason, I feel that, I am sure that, it is certain. I am writing to talk about, you know, of course. In the same way, when we're comparing two things, or on the other hand, in this situation, and then when we make our points, remember in the middle, firstly, secondly, thirdly, we'll also use words like because, in addition, also, furthermore, finally, likewise, besides, again, moreover, similarly, surely, specifically, if, then, if this, then that. And then in our details, we're going to use words like, for example, for instance, in support of this. And when we write our endings, we're going to say, as you can see, on the whole, in short, in brief, without a doubt, for these reasons, undoubtedly. And then other words that we're going to use are reasons, arguments, for, against, unfair, pros, cons, inaccurate. Okay, so those are words that make your argument stronger. So where do we go from here? Let's take a look. The goal of persuasive writing. See if I can make this bigger for you. We're right at the top. The goal of persuasive writing is to convince your reader that your opinions about an idea are correct. So in this activity, you're going to need to argue in support of an idea or argue against an idea. Your writing must clarify either for or against the topic. Do not try to take the middle ground and argue both sides of an issue. That'll get you in trouble. Use persuasive language. Remember, you're trying to convince the reader to agree with your argument. So here we go. Your paragraph must have an interesting title. It must have an engaging topic sentence. Your topic sentence is the topic. You're introducing your topic, talking about your topic, must draw the reader in. Have the first sentence indented. We don't really care about that. All right. Must have at least 3 supporting points and examples. Remember, when we build our passage, we're having our introduction, our detail, which is our argument is included in there. And then your concluding sentence, a clear concluding sentence, and check your spelling. Do you have to be the best speller in the world? No, but guess what? How we become better spellers is through a dictionary. And remember, I always give you the link, dictionary.com. On your tests, you will have a spell check. I believe you have a spell check on some of the tests. But again, the more you read, the more you write, the better your spelling will get. Words and phrases to avoid: I, my, we, us. Only write in the third person. You are the observer. I don't care what you think. Remember, we don't care what you think unless you are specifically asked to give your opinion. All right. So I think, in my opinion, I believe, no. And don't use the word in conclusion. Give the conclusion, right? For this reason, there are all the reasons why. That is why. Okay, so you're not going to say, avoid, these are all the reasons why. You've already made your argument, so you don't have to say that. That's what's called redundant. You've already said it. Remember, we want to say what you have to say and get out, right? And that is why again, we don't care what you think. It's not about what you think. In formal writing, we're always writing in the third person. And we talked about first, second, and third person yesterday, right? So in the second person, you're talking about we, right? They. But in the third person, you're talking about they and them. You never want to include yourself. It's never a we or a us, rather. So here we're going to do. You're going to do some brainstorming and rough copy, meaning the first thing you come up with. And I would love for you to do this and let me give you feedback and get it back. That's how you get better at writing, by practicing. So again, we have our template. Let me make it a little smaller this time, where on your note paper, you're going to put your topic, and then you're going to say arguments for and arguments against. Remember, you always want to consider the counter argument. However, you don't want to argue the counter argument, because then you're wishy-washy. So here, next, I'm showing you work that I would love to see you do. I'm going to argue that. This is your topic, and I'm going to argue that. Tell me what you're going to argue for. What are we arguing for? Okay, so then when writing a persuasive paragraph, it's a good idea to think about what people who disagree with you might think. And this can help you get a stronger case because you're knowing what their argument with. So here's my first argument. This is what it would look like. This is my first argument, whatever it is. And then if someone disagreed with me, this is what they might say. This is my second argument. If someone disagreed with that point, this is what they would argue. And third, so any additional arguments from people who might disagree with you just all makes your case stronger, that you have considered the counter arguments. And then this is what your outline using this form is going to look at. So this is what one looks like using the point form, where you're going to make your point and give your evidence and then explain. So here's the topic: becoming a vegetarian. Has many benefits. And this is your main idea. For example, becoming a vegetarian has many benefits, including improving your health, improving the environment, and saving you money. Here's point one. First, eating a diet rich in vegetables. Can we make it a little bit? Eating a diet rich in vegetables and grains can reduce people's chances of developing heart disease and other ailments related to consuming meat. And then here's your evidence. A study published in the British Medical Journal found that vegetarians outlive meat eaters by 6 years. It's true. And then, example, adopting a vegetarian lifestyle can add years onto a person's life. So then I would go on and make my point two, give my evidence and explain it. Point three, give my evidence and explain it. And then make my conclusion, but don't use words that say in conclusion or these are all the reasons why. Think of a word to restate your thesis statement. You're just going to say what you said, but in a different way. So here's the example. Even though eating meat is easier than having to plan out vegetarian meals, there are many benefits to people's health, the environment, and people's budgets. So don't forget to use transition words, first, next, first, second, third, next, finally, and use an editor to help you spot spelling and grammar errors. I love dictionary.com. So that's what we just used, right? And a helpful way is to use the acronym P, point, evidence, explain, right? Make a statement that supports your argument, give the evidence with examples or quotes, and then explain how does this support your point? Why is it important? And so a formal paragraph, remember we're writing formally in school and we're not using slang and we're not, we are speaking in formal, this is a formal setting. So boom, that's not going to be in there. So a formal paragraph has the following sentences and structures. The hook, we talked about what a hook is. How does it interest your reader? A thesis statement. What are you trying to say? What is your argument? Point one, P. Point two, argument, evidence, explain. P. Point three, your third argument, evidence, explain. And your conclusion, give a strong concluding statement. And I just sent it bye-bye, didn't I? Ugh. Let's see if I can get that back real quick. We're wrapping this up. Let's see if I can read this example. It's come out very dark. Save the planet and animals all at the same time. That's a hook. Becoming a vegetarian has benefits such as improving your health, improving the environment, and saving you money. That's my thesis statement. First, eating a diet rich in vegetables and grains can reduce people's chances of developing heart disease and other ailments related to consuming meat. Point one. In fact, a 12-year-old Oxford study published in the British Medical Journal found that vegetarians outlive meat eaters by 6 years. Evidence? Okay, that's PE. Adopting a vegetarian lifestyle can add years to a person's life. And explain. Second, you would continue going on with your other points. However, first, second, more importantly, although, furthermore, as well, therefore, and consequently are all those words. So that's a persuasive writing outline using the PEE, right? Point, evidence, explanation. And then how we edit, which is, you don't have to work on that, but this is how we would evaluate you. Is your purpose clear? Do you have appropriate details? Did you come to a conclusion? And then secondly, in your style, what kind of language did you use? Do you use appropriate language? And does it flow? Okay, that's the wrong one. And does it flow? We'll Those are things that we talk about in writing, right? All the time. Um, and this is how when you write your essay, this is how you're going to be evaluated on things like that. Where did it go? Your sentences, are they short and choppy or long and awkward? Do you use them appropriately? Do you have a mix of sentences? Did you state your thesis? Did you organize your paragraphs correctly? And grammar and spelling, okay? And those are the things that we look at. That is all we have for today. I would love for someone to submit me an argument. I would be one happy, happy girl. But that's all we have for today. We're going to tune in for science at 11:30. And if I don't see you tomorrow in social studies, everyone have a healthy, happy holiday weekend. Use the time to bask in thankfulness. If you're here, it's a blessing. So take care.